Hey, this is Ronald from Math Skills University, and it's been really hot the last couple of weeks, so I went out and I bought 3 air conditioners. The first one I bought was this GE, and I had it for about 3 weeks and then it just died on me. But I bought it from eBay, and I bought it for $145, but I had a $50 credit, so I bought it there. I did return that, and at that point I actually bought 2 others. But these pretty much all assemble the same. First I bought the Midea, and then I bought this Frigidaire. Let me show you how to assemble this, and then I'm going to give you my verdict on which one I think is the best based on my experience. Okay, this is how it arrives when you get it in a box, and the Midea one is down here on the floor. Now let's go ahead and unbox this and put it together. While I'm not really into unboxing, I just want to show you one thing here. That is, the components inside this box, also inside the Midea box, as well as the GE box, are the same. They're packaged the same. And again, this is a copy-paste operation like top-load washing machines. People have the same designs. So they pretty much install the same way as well. All 3 of these units work exactly the same way. You have 2 of these, and they're going to slide in like that. But on the bottom, they slide into these on the bottom, like that. And on the top, you have 4 screws up here. And I put lines so you can see. I don't know if you can see or not, but they're 4 and they're kind of stagnated. Then you have one of these. So make sure that screw this in. The highest part is on the back, because this is going to slide in like that. Now you have to take this and slide this down there. And in some cases, you can actually take this off, slide it down your time, like so. And that's imperative so you have no wind coming through. Now, let's go ahead and just screw this on. Get your screwdriver for small screws and just put those in there. So now we have this on. We have this on. Right? It's going to flip it over this way. Let's put the other one on. Now you can flip them over. This is going here at the bottom, like this. And I can bring it down and then slide this over. And there you have it. Now I have a good 1.25 inches, maybe on both sides. So if I took the measuring tape, and I don't care what they say, that's about 35 inches. With that said, all of these units pretty much operate the same. They're about 16 inches wide, between 12 and 14 inches deep, and about 12 inches high. And they have about a 35-inch coverage. The controls are very basic. On the top you have temperature, which can go from 1 to 7 in terms of intensity. And then on the bottom you either cool or you fan on low or high. These operate at about 32 decibels, and some have 2-speed controls, but there are some that have 3. Keep in mind, their newer models, if anything, they're junk. They're garbage. They are made to break and be replaced. It's called planned obsolescence. But that's how they work. I've used all 3 of these, but now I'm going to pop in the Frigidaire, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on all 3 and which one I think you should consider. This is how this installs. And the window's down right here. This is here, so it stops it from falling out of the window. You can put a screw here into the window, and they have one in the bottom as well. But it's very simple. You had the other long phone. You had this long phone. You want to put this on top of the window to keep the mosquitoes and other things out. You can also put the other adhesive wherever you think they're going to serve you best. Like there's a gap right here of air. There's also a little plate they give you here to keep this in place. All 3 of them install the exact same way. Let's go ahead and plug it up and turn it on and see what it sounds like. How this works is simple. On top you have temperature 1 through 7 going around in terms of max temperature. To the right you have your fan. To the left you have your coolant or the air conditioning unit. On top is low, on the bottom is high. So here is off to the far right. Let's go low cool. That's what you're hearing. Let's put it on 6. Supposed to be 32 decibels max. Get a little bit closer. 32 decibels at max. Well, let's take it to 7. Okay, now we're at 7. So high cool, max at 7. So if you're in the room sleeping, and this is a spare room, so I'm going to pan it. You see how small it really is. Right, that's it. And over here, we have that. With that done, I'm going to dial this down a little bit and let this run all day, and then sleep in here tonight and see how good of a job it does. And then tomorrow, I'll finish my review since I was able to do this with all 3 AC units. Let's start the reviews, beginning with GE. This was obviously a lemon. The problem I was having with this was, over the course of 3 weeks, it cooled less and less and less until it became nothing but a fan. If you were to consider buying a GE unit, this is the one you might want to look at. I'll link that below. Moving on. I bought the Midea because it was shipping overnight and it was 100 degrees and I needed it in that room now because it was making the entire house hot. This is the second one that I purchased, and I installed that and used it for 2 days. And I must admit, while it seemed kind of flimsy to me, once I put it together, it was pretty solid. I had to get up 3 times, maybe 4, to turn it down. Longevity means a lot, so I can never give something I just bought a 5, but I'll give this a solid 4, and we'll see how long it lasts, but this one was really good. And then the last one, of course, I purchased was the Frigidaire. And to be honest, I wasn't extremely impressed with it. This one would work for me if I was sleeping in there by myself because it didn't get as cold as the Midea one did, to be honest. If I were judging this just on how cold it got, I would have to give this 3.5 stars. But it feels and looks more solidly built than the Midea does. But yeah, it's a step down in terms of how cold it actually got the room. And you saw how big the room is. It's not very big at all. I don't think it's 150 square feet. With that said, and speaking of Frigidaire, my wife recently just bought a stove and an oven. And what I told her was she needs to look for the ugly because of something called planned obsolescence. When you're buying anything new, you need to look for the ugly. What you want to do is look at post-purchase ownership reviews. People who've had it for a year, 2 years. Then you'll find the ugly. Look for the post-purchase life cycle problems and solutions, faults and fixes, things like that. I'll link this video below, and I'm also going to link all of these units below so you can decide which one you want to try. With that said, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or ideas, please leave them below. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Peace.